Most women think that the key to losing weight is to keep cutting calories. But what if I told you there's another way? On today's episode, we're going to talk about reverse dieting, what it is, how to do it, and why it matters. It's going to be a good one. So grab your coffee and let's get into it.
That's what we're doing today, huh? Reverse dieting.
Reverse dieting, specifically reverse dieting, because I feel like it's a buzzword that people talk about, but they don't actually know what it means and how you can use it and should be using it as a tool for weight loss.
It's a wonderful tool to use too.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, welcome back to our show. We're excited to be back. And, you know, if you have not already subscribed to us here on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Candidly_with_coffee on Instagram. And comment and let us know you're here. And let us know if you have any questions for us. We'd love to engage with you guys in the comments.
Yes, we do.
And today, you guys, we're obviously, if you haven't been here, if you're new here, we actually recently moved to Orange County. Well, not really recently anymore. It's been 6 months.
Time's flying.
Time is flying. But we do fly back to the Bay Area. We have a Studio B in downtown San Jose. It's a production studio for content creators. But we fly back every couple months to do this show. And my doctors are still here. So yesterday I had a colonoscopy.
That's crazy, man. And here we are doing the show today.
I know. You guys, it was rough. It was a rough go.
Sound like you had a beat down with yourself.
Yeah, so apparently there's this thing that I didn't know. And now it makes sense because the same thing happened in my last colonoscopy. But there's this condition or a type of colon that I have that it's called a tortuous colon.
Yeah.
And it's extra long and it has lots more curves and spins and twists.
Yeah.
Makes it very difficult for the scope to go through. And so this is what happened. So my blood pressure is already low. It's always low. When I checked in, they're like, "Oh, wow, is your blood pressure always this low?" And I said, "Yeah, it's low." They give you pain meds, your blood pressure goes down. So when they were monitoring my pain meds or whatever, the blood pressure went even lower. I felt really woozy. And then obviously I have the medication on board, but they start struggling with the scope and it hurt. It hurt bad. I felt like I was in labor, but in a weird way.
Wow.
They were like, and they even asked me if I could continue because they couldn't give me more meds because my blood pressure was like, I don't know. I think the top number was like 60 something. It was low.
You were knocking.
It was low.
That's close.
It was close to pass out, right? Yeah. So they couldn't give me more pain meds, and they're like, "Do you want us to stop?" And I know what that means. That means they close up shop, and I go home, and I'm like, "Hell no! I just suffered a lot for this damn thing. It was awful, the prep." So we kept going, and it was painful. I said, "No, just do it. Just don't worry about me. Just do it." And they got on top of me. One of the nurses was like kind of pushing on my stomach. I think that actually helped the pain when she was like pushing. Because when he's pushing and she's pushing, I don't know, it helped. It was weird. But anyways, good thing I did it, though, because I had 6 polyps again. So they're being tested for if they're precancer or not.
Those things are coming after you.
I had 6 last time. 6 is my number, apparently.
Sheesh. That's crazy. I can't imagine what you felt like because when I did mine, it was smooth as butter. I didn't feel no pain or nothing.
Did you watch? Or no, you were out?
No, I was out. I
watched the whole thing.
You're always staying up.
I watched it and I even saw, I'm like, yep, I see it. Before he even said, I have another one, I saw it. I could see them. They're like, they didn't look ugly like last time. Last time I remember that they looked kind of like, oh, that one looks ugly. And maybe that was the precancerous one. Maybe these are not precancerous because they were small. It was white. It was like white and it was a little raised, like a pimple, kind of like a pimple.
Oh, okay.
But the last time I remembered that it had like black dots in it. Like it looked kind of ugly. And remember, last time I had some that were like more aggressive. They had more aggressive kind of cells in them.
Kind of when they show the virus emoji, how aggressive it looks
Yes.
to scare everybody. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, but it goes to show you, look, so put it this way. Last time I did it, I was 46. I'm 49 now. And I had 6 polyps last time. Some were already more advanced, a little larger, precancerous. I had 6 more this time. So let's just say if I followed the typical guidelines, I feel fine. My digestion's great. No issues.
Healthy weight.
I would be loaded with polyps. Who knows how advanced some of them would be right by now. You guys got to get the checks.
Had you not done it 3 years ago and you waited this long.
Yeah, who knows where I would be.
Yeah.
Because it's slow. Those are slow growing, but still, they're not that slow. I'm just letting you know because they're not that slow. Because it's only been 3 years and I already have polyps again. My colon was completely cleaned out last 3 years ago.
And isn't it crazy how fast 3 years just went by?
Like
if you think about it, 3 years.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem real, like already.
Nope.
And then before you know, you're going to blink and you'll be early 50s when you do your next one.
It's crazy. I know.
So imagine if all these years passed by. Say you never did colonoscopy. You waited typically to your 50s. Mm-hmm. And then they tell you, well, Jeanine, had you done this sooner in your 40s, you could have prevented stage 4 cancer or something crazy. And this was happening with a lot of people. They're not doing preventive maintenance. Yeah,
you know what? I know why. I know why people don't get a colonoscopy. It's invasive and it's a process. You guys, I'm not trying to scare you out of not getting it. I'm trying to tell you, go get it, but be prepared. It was very taxing on me. I couldn't eat. I had to stop eating 2 days before. And then the day of, I had to drink a gallon of water. And then I started to have to drink that prep stuff. The prep is absolutely atrocious and disgusting. It is a gallon of salty water.
Yeah.
And it's just disgusting. And you're so weak and depleted by the time you go in to get it that you just feel like, I don't know, it was a lot.
You drain the hell out of your electrolytes.
It was a lot. But the solution they give you has electrolytes in it. But it's still
it's gross. I remember that stuff.
It's pretty bad. And I drank it throughout the night and I had it cold because it's the only way I could drink it. But it dropped my body temperature so rapidly that the whole time in between drinking this damn thing, I had to be up all night drinking it. I was shivering so much that my teeth were chattering. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't do anything. I was just shivering. And then I set my alarm for every 15 minutes to get up and drink another 8 ounces of it. So I had to do that two groups of time throughout the night. So I didn't sleep at all night. I don't know how I slept a normal amount of time last night, like 6 hours, maybe 7 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
But this week took my soul.
Yeah, for sure.
So it is just
your body's gonna catch up.
Yeah, but you got to get it done, you guys, because let me tell you, when I tell you it's the silent killer, it is a silent killer because I had no indication. I thought maybe this time it's going to be clean. My digestion's been good, everything's great, no issues, no symptoms, no bloating, nothing.
And that's what gets people in trouble. Assumption. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going on inside there.
Yeah, because you don't know until it happens, until something happens. So it's just
so true. That's a very good, this is good feedback you're giving to people to why they should prioritize their health.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, I'll see you in 3 years. I'm like, shit. Because I was hoping it was clean. If it was clean, I'd be on either the 5 or the 10-year plan. I think 10 years I'd be too scared. 10 years is a long time.
Nah, not for you. Me on the other hand, yes,
because you had nothing.
Zero.
You had not a single polyp.
Nothing. Clean as they told me. I'm clean as a whistle. I'm good. And you've been with me, going on 15 years? I've never had problems with my digestion.
I know.
Ever.
But again, you don't need to have problems with your digestion to have polyps in your colon.
I understand that, but you've had a lot of problems with your digestion. I haven't.
But I haven't in the past few years. Nothing.
No. But when we gone on vacation, you've had problems.
That's normal. I hate to break it to you, but vacation constipation is actually a very normal thing.
Well, for me, it's not.
Oh, good for you. Good for you, but it is normal. All right, let me get my glasses on here and see what we got to talk about. So you guys, if you're not already following do they look okay?
They look all right.
They're a little dirty?
We'll have to get some cuter ones next time.
You don't like them?
No, they're cute. Just messing with
these.
They bring your eyes out, though.
I do like these, actually. But anyways, if you're not already following, I have a series on YouTube called The Road to 50. I'm documenting my Road to 50 process, which is basically a period of time where I went into a calorie surplus to build muscle, and then I'm going to be going into a calorie deficit to lose body fat because I'm trying to look and feel my best by January 28th, which is my 50th birthday.
Coming out party.
Yes, coming out party. So right now, as we sit here, I'm almost 4 months into building, which we're going to get into that. So if you guys are interested in more details on this, make sure you follow my series and make sure you follow the next couple months of this podcast, because we're going to get into the different little intricate phases and things that can be a part of your fat loss journey, your fitness goals, and what they mean and what you should be doing. So we're going to get into all of that in the next few weeks. But today specifically, I want to talk about reverse dieting, because a lot of people talk about it, but they don't know what it is. They think they know. I've heard people think that, it's a way to like trick your metabolism. There really is no tricking your metabolism.
No, it's not the way it works.
It's not what it is. What it is actually is it's a way, the true reverse diet is actually something that you do after a period of being in a caloric deficit. Because in the caloric deficit, which is when you're eating to lose body fat, a couple of things happen during that process. And depending on how long you've been in that deficit will determine what's really happening. But in a caloric deficit, your metabolism slowly shifts down. It kind of powers down as you eat less and less calories, because the body is always trying to survive.
Yes.
So that is the body's way of making sure that it can still function. It can still operate your heart and your lungs and all of the necessary things that keep you alive as efficiently as possible without the proper fuel to do so. So the metabolism will shift down to accommodate lower calories, meaning your body will run on lower calories. It's used to and is efficient on lower calories because you've taught it that. Also, the second part to that is your body, if you were in an effective calorie deficit, is now smaller. You are a smaller person.
Yes.
If you have a big car and then you trade out your big car for a small car, you spend less money on gas.
So true. That's a
Right.
good way. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
You went from a V8 to a 4-cylinder.
Yeah. So, and depending on, maybe you've lost a lot of weight, or you're now in a body you've never had before. You're a weight you've never been before. You really have no idea where your new maintenance is based on your new body. That's part one. And part two is you also have to, just like you shifted your metabolism down over time to keep the body efficient, you now have to reverse the metabolism, reverse it and shift it up to teach your body how to utilize more calories again, and it'll ramp up the systems that it had powered down.
Yeah.
And so you can't just throw a bunch of calories at your body after you've been deficient in calories for a while, because your body's going to be on that low power mode.
Yeah. It's like you said it real good. We're talking. You said it's like, think about it when your battery's low on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
It goes low power mode. It has that option.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you're a caloric deficit for too long? Your body's low
power mode.
And all of a sudden you throw that charge on there, you supercharge it again. Boop,
Yeah.
there, flick on another switch.
Yeah.
And you kind of like wake it back up again.
What does it do? It kind of it starts downloading your podcast episodes again. It does all these things that it wasn't doing, like all the stuff in the background that it stopped doing
Yep.
in low power mode.
Yep.
It starts doing that again. And so that is what a reverse diet is.
Yes.
That is what it is. It is your way to teach your body how to, ramp things back up again, start all those things in the background, ramp it back up, start building lean tissue again, start growing my hair again,
Nails.
make my nails strong
Tissue.
again.
Yep.
That's what it's doing. Also, it is the time in which you are figuring out what your sweet spot is. Where is your maintenance calories? Because you don't know.
No.
You think you know.
Everybody thinks they know. They don't know.
You know what a lot of times people think? People think it's the calories they used to eat. Well, it's like, I used to maintain it X amount of calories. but you don't know what it is yet anymore.
No.
Because you're now remember, you traded out the big truck for a 4-cylinder commuter car.
Yeah.
So you don't know what it is.
True.
So that is what it is, okay? So why it matters is because you have to figure that out if you want to maintain your results.
You have to.
You have to figure that out.
You can't stay on a caloric deficit forever.
Right.
That's not feasible. It's not like you're going to do that for the rest of your life, being that caloric. No, it's not feasible.
No, and here's the thing that why it's so important to know how to do this. Anybody that has any weight to lose and that wants to lose weight at all, if you want to keep that weight off, you have to reverse diet when you're at your goal. Number one. Number two, if you have weight to lose and you have a lot of weight to lose, you might have to reverse diet intermittently and break up your caloric deficit because you just simply have too much weight to lose to be in a very long, drawn-out caloric deficit. You will stall.
Yeah.
Because that metabolism shifting downward eventually, you can't keep going down. So you have to stop trying to lose body fat and reverse out of that deficit, reverse out of there for a while, let your metabolism shift back up, and then you can cut again. So it's a very important tool that if you want to lose weight, you have to know how to do this. If you are not doing this, that could be the thing that you've been doing wrong all along. This could be the answer to your weight loss dreams is a reverse diet. So how to do it right? I think the best way to do it right is, for one, don't just stop your program or whatever when you reach your goal weight. In fact, I feel like in a reverse, you have to be even more precise. And that's what kind of messes people up. Because I think at the end of their caloric deficit, they're like, woo, I'm done. I can eat so much more now because I'm not trying to lose. No, you actually have to stay tracking. You have to increase your calories slowly over time. So I would recommend like a range of 100 calories, no more than 100 calories per week. So you're going to shift up 100 calories per week. And then you're going to track what your weight does and what your waist measurement does. And you're going to keep doing that until you stop losing weight. Because if you were truly in a calorie deficit, you are probably going to, when you add just 100 calories, you should still be losing weight. Because your calorie deficit was probably at least 300 to 500 calories.
Yeah, at least. And not only that, you have more energy to move more, lift more. Things like that. Sometimes when you're on low calories, you don't have a lot of energy. You're struggling. You're white knuckling it.
Yeah, and that's why you're not going to know exactly, what that number is. And you're going to also have to strategically, if you were doing a lot of steps during your cut or whatever, you're also going to want to strategically drop those and raise calories. So you're doing both because you need to leave room in the tank for when you want to cut again. So unless you want to unless you're committing to walking 12,000 steps forever, every single day, and I don't recommend that because then you have nowhere to go. You'll want to shift those down, shift calories up, and find the sweet spot where your weight stays stable.
Yeah. Now,
to really see when your weight is stable, I actually don't recommend just a weekly weigh-in. And I know this sucks for people, but if throughout the process of your caloric deficit and your reverse diet and all of that, you've rehabilitated your relationship with the scale and with food, which is what we do with our clients, this is not a big deal, but you should weigh in every day and chart the average.
That's important because you could chart a 7-day average, what your body's doing.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not capturing really what it's doing. You're just one moment in time, once a week, isn't telling the story. It doesn't tell the story.
That's a good idea. Because a lot of people do it once a week. Like I'm a once a weeker, but maybe I need to get better at doing that. Especially
it's not really telling the story of what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not. Because I weigh in every day as part of my road to 50, and my weight goes all over the place. It does. So I chart the average, but the average tells me a story. The average tells me that I'm averaging a 0.5 pound weight gain per week. That's what the average tells me.
When you take the totals from the 7-day.
Yeah, and divide it by 7 and chart it. So that's the weight that I look at, and then I compare it to last week's charted weight to see, did it go up, down, whatever. And that's what you're doing. So in a reverse, the charted weight should probably show for the first few weeks, you should still be losing. Sometimes you lose as much as you did when you were officially cutting. And the reason for that is what you said. Because when you start to bring more calories on, inadvertently, you're expending more energy because you have more energy.
Yeah.
You have better workouts. You're talking faster, moving faster. You just feel more energized.
Yes.
And your body is also powering up. So a lot of stuff is happening. And people always, it's actually the most common for my clients. When I first start them on a reverse, they get like better results than they did the last couple of weeks of their cut.
That is kind of trippy.
And it's kind of a cool
They get
thing.
excited and they get happy.
excited.
I see that.
Yeah, because a lot
They're
is
eating more
happening.
food too, and they're happy.
Yeah.
You know, they're eliminating that food noise in their head.
So people think like, this doesn't make any sense, but it does. It does, because you have more calories on board. It means you're expending more energy. It means your body is going, oh, we have a little more calories. We can do a little more. We start downloading those episodes that we queued because we were in low power mode.
Yeah.
So that is one of the other things that's another cool thing about reverse dieting. But you keep going because you're not chasing fat loss anymore. And this is the part that people kind of like it. Now I'm like, no, that just means you add more calories. If you're still losing, you add more. It's your license to keep adding until you stop losing, until you see the charted average look kind of more of a straight line instead of dipping. If you start to see it creep up a little bit, that's kind of like your sweet spot. And you stop there, and that's where you maintain. And if you're done with your caloric deficit, or if you just want to break from dieting, you stay in maintenance for a while. And that's what a reverse diet is. And you know who coined reverse diet? Do you know who does that? Like who started that?
I actually don't.
The bodybuilding community.
I was going to say, because they
You
had
were going to say, you just said,
I was thinking of something in my head, like how they compete and get so low and then they have to go back up.
Yeah.
They can't stay there.
Yeah.
Then after the night of their show, they're done. They got to go back up.
Because what happens if you don't?
Or your hormones get jacked. Your everything gets jacked. Your system's like, we can't stay here. You put yourself at a risk.
You're sensitive. You are very sensitive when you've been in a caloric deficit for a long time or extreme calorie restriction. And bodybuilding shows is like the extreme. A lot of them are doing 2 hours of cardio a day and eating very low calories coming into their show. And what do? The pendulum swings in the other direction in a very extreme way. They overconsume food. They shovel food.
Oh, till they want to throw up and pass out.
Yeah.
It's almost disgusting watching how everybody eats after a show.
It's bad.
Like, they're craving everything under the sun. Cookies, cake, pies. Pizza's a big one. All bodybuilders always do pizza. And they eat till they can't eat no more. And that's not good for you either.
No, it's always I always say it's like stuffing a washing machine with too much clothes.
Yeah.
It'll break down.
Yeah.
And your body's so sensitive to those calories because it powered down. Remember, it kept you alive even though you were burning tons of calories and eating really low calories. So it's expecting 1,200 and you're giving it 5,000. It's going to be, whoa, I don't know what to do with this. Let's just store it all.
Yeah.
Because we powered down those systems. We don't need all these calories. We powered down, we're not downloading the podcast episodes and streaming and all of that because we were in low power mode. So you have to train your body to flick off that low power mode switch, and you do it gradually. And that's how you do and utilize a reverse diet. So you should be utilizing a reverse diet after. You can do it when you've reached your goal weight and you want to get into maintenance, or if you feel like you're burnt out from your calorie deficit, even if you're not at your goal, you're just tired. Or say you have the holidays coming up and you want to enjoy more calories in the holidays. You can't just start enjoying calories in the holidays. Don't just go to Thanksgiving and eat like a crazy person if you're coming off a calorie deficit. Prepare for it. Reverse diet into maintenance.
Yep.
Be in maintenance for the holidays, and then cut after the holidays again. Or if you take a break, a diet break, if your biofeedback is showing that it's time, like your weight loss has stalled, you're sleeping poor, your energy's poor, your mood's poor. It's time to reverse out of that calorie deficit, live in maintenance for a while, and then do it again when you're ready, when you're...
Yeah, because what's the point of doing all this and then you feel like absolute caca?
Yeah.
You don't feel good. You don't feel your best. You're fighting with your spouse, arguing. You're snapping at your kids. You're just not yourself.
Yeah.
Why? It's not worth it.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it is like a reset, and it's a way to fuel your body that will allow you to not only maintain fat loss long term, but to achieve big transformation goals. If you have more than 25 pounds to lose, you will absolutely need to reverse diet in order to get all of it off. You'll have to have a break and then keep going. It'll be a better journey for you. The problem is, like for me, what I struggle with is sometimes it's hard to convince clients to stop the weight loss journey and reverse for a while.
It is.
Because they've really associated their wins with just continuing to see the scale drop, and it's a real big mindset shift.
It is hard. You're right.
But I mean, there's
especially for women, they love seeing that number drop.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no way around it. At some point, if you want a successful journey and a long-term lifestyle out of this, and get your metabolism into a better place, then you have to get comfortable with this process. So on the next episode, we're going to talk about what to do when your metabolism feels slow and how to fix it. It's going to be a good one, so we'll see you then.